Welcome to our post-PAX podcast. We're going to talk about how the event was for you guys. First Artifact event to the public. Steam.tv. A lot of stuff. Oh. So, first of all, did you guys have fun?
Yes. I think time flew by very quickly.
Yes.
Every cast, I think we had set up that cadence of like 2 games per cast or something.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 games would come out to be like up to at least 30 minutes. So it was like 40 minutes maybe was the average.
Yep.
And that would just fly by because like the game is so immersive.
We can all talk about being in the beta now.
Wow.
We've said it on stage
Finally.
a bunch of times.
Wow.
Can I say that, did this event reinvigorate a bit of your interest in Artifact? Because I feel like there was a bit of a lull there. Not a lot of people playing and like getting kind of, what did you think?
Yeah, I think this is going to make a lot of people angry, but a lot of people with the beta key don't actually play every day and every minute.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I know.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure if we're able to say or not. But
I think part of it is a population problem. Like there were times where I want to play and there's just no one else playing. So
Yeah.
card game, I don't want to play against the AI.
Yeah.
So when we have tournaments in the beta, that's when you see the activity ramp up. And then after the tournament, people are interested, so maybe for a day or 2, and then it just goes down again. But to answer your question, I want to go back and try some
Yeah.
heroes again. Like these
I'm
decks,
hyped.
yeah, I'm hyped to play more Artifact.
Which one of the decks do you think did the best?
I think of new players, the red and blue deck did the best. It's got those big spells, and people don't play around those because they don't know it's coming.
Speaking of those new guys, well, first, what do you think? Which deck do you think?
Yeah, I
it's
think
also
the
blue-red?
blue-red. Blue-red.
I think it did the best, but I think
It's not the best.
It's not the best deck. Yeah.
So a lot of new players talk to me. I got to coach a bunch of them. I coached like 5 or 6 people a day, and during their like stressful times when they had a lot of people come in that were new. You guys obviously had a lot of fans approaching you, talking about the game and their experience. What's your like takeaway from the fan experience? Did they enjoy it? I mean, I know the line was insane. I know some people waited 3 hours. I know some people waited longer than 3 hours. I know some people waited every day for 3 hours. What did you learn from fans talking to you?
I think my experience might be very different from yours.
Sure.
Yours, Ken, specifically. Because when people come up to us, they're just like generally very excited.
Yes.
Like there's nothing but positivity about it.
No, that was for me too.
Well, I mean, I think when you're coaching them, they might be like dialed in, very focused and, you know,
Yeah.
just in the zone. Whereas, I'm just like, hey, what's your favorite hero? And everyone's just like really happy and talking about the game. So
Yeah, we usually end up talking to everyone after the whole experience, and they've played a couple games.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten a single negative response though.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, I think it's gonna be great. I can't wait for the beta. It's very complex, and they were a little confused, but they were like happily confused. They're like, there's so much that I have yet to learn. But talking to people, I did talk to a couple people in line. They had high hopes as well, and they'd like read a lot of the subreddit. They were on the Discord every day, and so they knew what they were coming here for, and they were willing to wait that 3 hours. So.
Let me just tell you guys, the line was insane in the morning. People were sprinting. They were like, it was getting testy. They had to form a wall to block people off. It was crazy, because not only do you get to play more if you win, which is like not a feature that's at every booth. Usually you just play a demo
set
and then
amount
you're
of
out.
game.
Yeah. But you might go on stage, and you want to play this game as much as possible because you can't play it anywhere else. So you got all these people coming back every day, and they're trying to play Artifact over and over.
Yep.
I gotta say, a lot of people made the very similar mistakes, so maybe they'll try and fix that with some indicators or something in the client.
Yeah.
But I would say everyone that came up to me was also really positive.
Yeah, I think the most common mistakes, and this is actually like pretty good real live feedback for Valve, right, to make their indicators a little bit clearer, but improvements, just being played on the same lane.
Active improvements, yes.
Active improvements. And then a lot of people just forgot that they had ability on their heroes.
And
like
items.
Fissures, right, on Shaker.
And some of those abilities are like literally the best abilities.
Very game-changing.
Yes.
And then item activation like Phase Boots or
Yeah.
Apotheosis Blade.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's
Apotheosis Blade?
Apotheosis.
is what I said not the right one to pronounce?
I have no idea what the actual pronunciation is.
Apiothis.
Apotheosis.
AP Blade is what it's going to be called.
Apotheosis.
OP Blade, okay.
OP.
But overall, I would say that the newbies really enjoyed themselves. I think almost all of them, when I asked them, do you have card game experience, said yes, I played
Yes.
at least MTG or Magic.
I mean,
Or sorry, or Hearthstone or Magic.
But we are getting a very like filtered crowd, right? You don't wait 3 hours casually just to try something out.
That's true.
You wait 3 hours because you're freaking stoked about it, and generally they have similar background. So.
Yeah.
But I have no doubt that if you've played a lot of Hearthstone, you enjoy it. You play a lot of Magic and you enjoy it. That you're gonna at least try and probably like Artifact if you really get into it.
Is it worth the $20 to try though? That's kind of the big question.
That's on us, right? We gotta make a really nice stream, see if they still.
I mean, personally, like if you have a friend that like, you know, maybe play a card game in the background, would you recommend like $20 out of your pocket to try it out?
I would say that if you have someone that you know really likes it and can explain and walk you through some things and you can ask them questions, I think that $20 is easily worth.
Okay.
I think if you try and learn it by yourself without any exterior guides or any interest, it's going to be a hard thing to do.
It's a very similar Dota
so.
experience.
Yes.
It's not a solo learning game. You need friends.
I think you need friends because it just sitting there trying to figure out the right decision without someone guiding you, helping you, without researching and doing your own kind of thing, that's going to be really hard. You're not going to just be able to. It's not Slay the Spire. You can't just sit down and just YOLO do stuff and just have fun.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to really invest some time to learn to get better at it.
Yeah. I can't say anything specifically about it, but I know Valve they understand this concept and they're going to actively make it a very social experience.
I hope so.
Which is odd, right? Because it's a 1v1 card game, but they have a lot of things in mind so you could play with your friends.
Well, for one, when they allowed arena spectating in Hearthstone, me and Karen would watch each other play arena sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And that was always really fun because you can just like when something stupid happens, you're just like, oh my
Like
god.
here it is.
But you can't watch each other's draft, which always annoyed me about arena.
That was the most annoying part.
The fun part is about drafting.
And drafting together. Yeah.
Yeah. I will definitely be doing a lot of duel and whatever drafts with people in Artifact because I love the drafting process. I'm a limited player. I only do drafts.
Sealed, yeah.
Yeah, and good. Sealed and all that kind of stuff is going to be great. I think the newbies, though, that were here playing it really felt a big sense of accomplishment when they won. You guys experienced that. So you can talk a little bit about what was it like to lose and to win against those people and what did they say to you and all that kind of stuff.
I had one really heartwarming experience, and that was, I believe, one of the, I think her name was Stephanie, but she played really well. And after the game, I told her, I was like, that was very well played. I think you did as probably the best match that I played so far on stage, like closest. And she was like just bubbling with joy, like to the verge of tears, and I was just like so happy for her. We exchanged some good words, and she was just kind of like, I can't wait to be in the beta, like just ready to just jump back in. So really heartwarming to see that kind of reaction too.
Cool.
So we played, as the champions, we played with a 10 health deficit, which ideally is supposed to balance it out because the new players likely make more mistake, less experience, that kind of stuff. But that 10 life deficit also made it really, really hard for us. So when we did actually win the games, we felt like really, like we're on the top of the world. Like you had to make absolutely no mistake. You're close to a perfect game. So I felt like I also got that new player satisfaction when I won. Like I felt smart, which is
I won
not something I generally feel a lot. But like when I win Artifact, I felt really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the effects and the stuff that you do in Artifact does feel like you accomplished something at the end of the game. I feel like I'm outsmarting people occasionally. Like there was this moment. And I lost against Sunsfan on stage. Yeah. So I beat Slacks on stage and I lost to Sunsfan. And the Sunsfan game, it came out to the situation, and we're going to get into some technical stuff here, but he had a RevTel convoy, and I was trying to figure out where to place my hero. And if he spent all his gold, he had like 50 gold, something crazy because he had the black-green deck. And if he spent all his gold, he would buy a Horn of the Alpha and I would lose. Yeah. But if he didn't spend his gold, he might payday and the RevTel would kill me. Yeah. So I had to just guess, like 50-50 guess, and he outsmarted me. He did the thing that I didn't expect him to do, and I lost. And I remember talking to him afterwards. I remember talking to the casters, and that was a play where they were like, yeah, we could see that you were thinking about it. So that was a really good play by you to recognize that could happen, but you made the wrong choice. Yeah. And I think a lot of artifacts like that. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, it's kind of just like playing around cards that you know your opponent has, and just sometimes, you just end up making the wrong choice, right? you got to play around everything, but also perhaps have a backup plan too. If you consider the worst, maybe sometimes it'll like be a better turnout. But yeah, thankfully the game has a lot of mechanics I think that can help that comeback, even though I think the first TP may have been okay. Well, this was the Earthshaker, right?
Oh, we're still talking
Yeah.
about Ken's game, yeah.
Yeah.
We have to talk about my game.
Yeah, but-
Lumi made mistakes too.
Oh, I made a lot of mistakes. I missed lethal when I had it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of instant regret that happens in the game,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
a lot of the times just like playing for the long term and also considering like pretty early on what your win condition is and playing around that.
So did playing these decks over and over change your mind about what cards you felt were OP?
Oh, for sure. I coming into this event, I saw some of these deck lists. I'm like, Crystal Maiden, really? And then what's that 7-mana green card that gives you damage immunity? Divine Purpose. I'm like, this is trash.
Yeah.
And then obviously for this event, I was forced to play with those cards. And then there were some turns where like, oh, the Crystal Maiden ability is like legit.
Yes.
There was a game where I won, I Frostbite a hero and they couldn't Berserker Call.
Yeah.
That was due to my opponent's
Okay.
mistake. But
Yes.
like I've never really thought about like I knew that that's an interaction that could happen, but having me to go through that interaction, I was like, wow, CM's power level is actually much higher than I thought. So yeah, it really like
Lumi was a CM hater.
yeah, I'm a CM hater.
He's
previous
like
to
worst
this.
hero ever.
Now
2-5.
she's like still like pretty bottom, but like respect level has risen. So.
Yeah. For me, it was probably Rix. I've always thought Rix was trash because you feed at the enemy so much gold, and that can get a little out of control, especially if the enemy's deck revolves around gold. But with that, this particular set of 4, Rix is able to just equip those huge items, right, and just guarantee that they could be placed. So that Apotheosis Blade with the 4 Siege. I think Siege was also a very like underrated like mechanic that really shone in this this
Yeah.
whole entire gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
So many games were won just because like, well, even though
Yeah.
stuff's blocked, there's Siege, right?
Well, let's just say that Siege is, I think, better because there are less ways to kill heroes.
Right.
When we played the
That's
actual
true.
closed beta, there's a lot more way to deal with heroes.
Yes.
For me, it was definitely Pugna. I thought
Oh, cool,
Pugna was a shit red hero, and you should never take him and all that kind of stuff. And then I just playing with Pugna. I was just like, man, this guy's useful.
Do you like
his
the do you
ward
like
is
his
useful.
card? You like his card?
It's okay. It's not the best, but it's useful. I thought it was worthless before, but it's useful. It's like a counter to blue, essentially.
Yeah, it really is.
And you know, sometimes when you get to late game, it's hard to get through against blue, and you're just sitting there and they just can't cast stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
And his Nether Blast is actually really useful. Get rid of that Steam Cannon, you feel super good yourself. And Steam Cannon, I knew Steam Cannon was good, but Steam
Right.
Cannon is fucking good.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Piercing damage.
Yeah, and you can put 2 of them, 3 of them.
It's like just any cross lane ability is just absolutely amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially every turn. But yeah, like Steam Cannon, once you get a few of them, you just can't lose,
Yeah.
almost. Too many options.
Yeah.
So I think another thing I learned, and I think you guys saw this, was all the Valve employees are so happy. They're just having a good time. All developers are very eager to listen to us.
Yeah. They came on to cast.
yeah.
They came on to play.
Yeah, they're coaching everyone. It's all good. But it obviously that's helped with everyone being so super enthusiastic about it. But are you optimistic about the future of Artifact, I guess, is a good...
I think so. I think even this event itself was a great learning experience for everyone on the Artifact team. I'm sure they had something to take away from coaching, seeing new players play the game and being like, oh, maybe, you know, some kind of tweak in a mechanic. I'm sure they're all going to probably have some powwow and discuss their learnings. But I feel really good about it. The team is fantastic. They're very open and they work in a very dynamic way as well. Everyone's able to just, you know, work together, make cards, work very much like a team, like a family.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring down the happiness
Okay.
bar a little bit. I think the Valve team is doing great, but I also think that this isn't like the most difficult step yet. Like, I think when the game launches and Steam Market, where everyone's buying and selling, I think there might be some issues there. Like that, I don't know if, I mean, I don't personally use a lot of Steam Market, so I don't know what the activity is. But stress testing that, buying, like I just want to buy 40 cards at once because I want to play a new deck, and then sell 40 cards at once. What kind of experience is like that for me? I don't know.
No one knows. That's gonna
Someone
be a new
hasn't
thing.
been using CS:GO Lounge a lot.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe people do buy a lot of skins at once and mass buy.
I think the automated system of the market's not bad, but I don't know if it's going to be just using that, or is there going to be a new way to do it
Right.
with artifacts? So I have no idea about that,
And
and
then
I don't know what the prices are going to be either. So
And then also I know Artifact is catering to a lot of different type of card game players, right? You guys like to play limited. I
Yes.
like limited too, but I also like playing constructed. And sometimes I just feel like one and not the other. So how is Artifact going to cater to me specifically and
Yeah.
a lot of audience out there? So I think there's still a lot of like really tough questions for them to answer and go through. So I mean, I'm happy
Yeah.
because I feel like the team is really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very positive about it.
Yeah, I personally, I'm extremely excited. I was kind of like, I enjoyed playing Artifact, but as I play more and as I see more, I am more like, I feel more confident about the game, which is just a good sign. That's how I felt about a lot of the other games that I played, that I still played today. So I would say the last thing I want to talk about with you guys is essentially the broadcast experience. I think
Okay.
that's very different than a typical card game, just because of the lanes, of having to move around, of this being the first broadcast thing in Artifact. Not super competitive, just, you know, like some modifiers, some new people playing you guys. But do you think that it's fun to watch? Now that's going to be an interesting thing to see, because you know, this was on Steam TV, maybe not the best test because it's a new platform. If it was on Twitch, maybe it'd have a lot more viewers. But what do you think about that experience?
I think once you know the basic mechanics, it would be fun to watch. It might be difficult for, like, you know, say if you just tune in, you can't really tell the board state until you see all three lanes. So it might take some time to really like get into. But once you're immersed, like once you're like invested into a game, like even just like 5 minutes, you want to see how it turns out. So I think it's definitely something fun to watch, and especially with the casting aspect, you can play out all these scenarios in your head. Like there's so many cards to play, to read, and like all these possibilities or different ways a game can go, that I think it's going to be really exciting to watch and see, like, you know, what kind of mind games. It's almost like, it's like what they say, like 4D chess,
Yeah,
right?
it's
like,
too much. It's almost too much to say.
It's almost,
right?
Yes, there's like endless things you can talk about and hypotheticals. So I definitely think it's going to be fun to watch, but it will take some initial investment of like game knowledge.
I actually think that the game will be incredibly difficult to follow if you don't play a lot of Artifact yourself. I don't know if we had this conversation with Conrad where Artifact feels like a very good story, like, but you have to start from the beginning. You can't just jump in on the game on turn 3 and be like, oh yeah, that's what's going on, right? It feels like it's a game that you have to watch from beginning to end. Like, for example, if turn 1 Bristleback kills a hero, like, that's a plot point. That's something that's important to keep in mind. Whereas to jump in towards the end, you might have missed out. Like, for example, a play I made today, I sacrificed multiple heroes to use multiple spells 2 turns ago to set up a turn where now I could Thunder God and kill like 5 heroes at once. I mean, seeing Thunder God killing all 5 heroes at once is cool and all, but you get the full story if you go back 2 turns earlier and see how all the like steps I went through set that up.
Yeah.
So,
That doesn't happen very much in Hearthstone. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
Setting up beyond 2 turns is really hard.
Yeah.
It's just part of how the game works. You have no idea what the board's going to look like in 2 turns. Whereas in Artifact, you can kind of figure it out.
Sure.
And I think that's obviously a positive to watching Hearthstone. You can immediately tell what's happening, who's winning, like what's been played, what's not been played. Like just the life totals and the board tells you everything.
It's just one board.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this is a benefit to Hearthstone, right? You tune in, 10 seconds later, you kind of know what's going on. Artifact, I think you need to spend a minute. Like I was walking by some of the games.
I have no idea who's winning.
I have no idea what's going on, and that's a point against watching Artifact, I think.
I want to say that I think that it was very smart to limit the decks to 4 decks and to make it so that all the decks are replayed constantly. By the end of it, I knew these decks inside and out. I knew every single card in them. I knew every single interaction. I knew, like, I have to save this for this. I know he can do this. I can do this.
Yep.
And I think all the viewers knew that too. All the people in the audience even knew that. Even the people that came once or twice to play. I think that really helped with the viewer experience.
Yep.
I am more questionable about whether it's fun to watch a deck that you don't really know.
Sure.
Like, you don't know what's coming up. You don't know what they built. You don't know what this hero does or what that hero does or how this interacts with that. So maybe it's a little bit, like, if it felt hard to follow now, maybe it's like even more hard to follow when you don't understand what's going on. Do you think that's a problem?
Yeah, I think there may be some improvements can be made for that as well. There is that mini map on the top left, but that can definitely use some polish. Right now, it's a little hard to tell who has initiative, even with like which towers are like dead or what, like the health. I don't think we even touched upon it that much. Like when I look at the board, I'm very used to just zooming out and then checking my board state because I also want to see the cards associated. But I'm hoping maybe there's some way they can improve that that mini map to kind of give a better idea of the board state. Otherwise, yeah, I do agree. It's kind of like it's tough to jump in, right? So.
Currently, in you know how Magic has an extension that you can do on Twitch where when you're watching it, you can hover over the cards and it says what that does. They fucking need that.
Artifact needs it
It
so
needs
badly.
it so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
You need like a library or something where it shows everything on the board and you just hover and see the stuff.
It'd be
That
nice
might be
if you
hard.
could hover also the key text because there's a lot of keywords in the game.
Yeah,
I don't know if that already exists.
but that'd be cool. But you know, they could be working on all that stuff. We have no idea. So.
Yeah, and especially if you could like live spectate games, right? Then you can control what you're looking at the board yourself.
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have observer features because all that shit
Yeah.
exists in Dota,
Yeah.
right? Where you can watch your friends, you can click on everything that's happening. You can follow your friend playing a hero, and you can
Yeah.
click on his items. You can click on your enemy items. You can click on his team. All that kind of stuff is cool. So,
This game will not fill a stadium though, which is not a bad thing.
how do
per
you
se.
know?
Yeah, right?
I mean, I guess if you put $1 million on it, it will fill a stadium. But like,
What if you get a special skin? They'll come. They'll come,
Okay.
dude. You
All
get
right.
a green fucking imp.
but you know what I mean
glowing
though.
You get
imps.
a green imp. They'll come.
With hats.
Wait, so you think it's gonna be the same excitement level as Dota?
Did you see that imp eating a thing of popcorn when
I
the duel
did.
was happening?
Yeah, I pointed that out. That was
Yo.
Yeah.
good shit.
They get now they're eating cookies. You get a green imp. He's eating cookies.
Oh my god.
They're coming to the
Compendium
stadium for that.
cookies.
I'm going to get that.
Are you
imp.
being real right now? Are
Huh?
you being real? Like,
I'm being real. They'll
you
go
think
to-
it'll fill stadiums?
if they put cosmetics up, 100% it will.
People
they're
come
like-
from the hats. Okay.
Yeah, if
Look.
look, you get a deck, you get
I
a
want
deck
to
skin,
believe.
you get a special deck skin. Your axe has a new animation. All that shit could be put in. And if they give that up, if your heroes look different, if your imps look different, if your board looks different, people are going.
I hope Valve is taking notes right now.
I'm just telling you. Why are they taking notes? They already
They
thought of
already
this stuff.
know.
I'm
Give me the
sure.
cookies. I want my
Yeah,
imp
sure.
eating a cookie.
I want my imp eating cookie.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to be able to go to the stadium and like while you're watching, you're playing in a tournament with the people in your row.
Okay.
Who knows? Just
Yo,
do that.
what if they did that Yu-Gi-Oh shit where it's like holograms
What?
of, you know what I'm talking about? When you watch
Oh,
the Yu-Gi-Oh
okay.
anime, and then there's holograms of like monsters battling each other,
Yeah,
like the
like
VR
do that, yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
Do that shit too.
3D that
Oh
shit
my
up.
goodness.
No, I'm telling you, you don't need booths for this. Have them just standing next to each other throwing spells. Who knows?
Oh shit, you were the dual disc? I mean,
The
they.
dual disc.
I'll tell you, the possibilities are endless.
Okay.
I draw
You
my
know?
trap card.
I want the event where you can play on your phone and enter a side tournament, so it's not just watching. You can
Oh, I
watch the
like
match,
that. I like that.
But you can also go to the side and play in a tournament.
The one thing I always like dislike about TI events is like you just go there to watch, but I feel like I kind of want other stuff to do, right? Whether it's like a
Exactly.
side event or something like
Exactly.
that. Card game tournaments.
Because
yeah.
you can't play Dota at TI,
Right.
but everyone wants to play Dota at TI.
Yeah.
When you
yeah,
watch
yeah.
Dota at TI, you're
just-
just like at night you're like,
itching.
I want to play,
Yeah.
right? And you can't.
Right.
But Artifact TI.
Oh, let's go.
Everyone's
Days over at 6 p.m.,
Mobile.
7 p.m.
Dude, you can watch
You can
while
play it on
playing.
mobile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 p.m. Have an official tournament at there, and then you
Side
just play
tournament.
Swiss.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
good.
Events
That
would be
That's
be
lit.
good.
That's
Yeah,
lit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Or even they take a situation from the day you got to play it
Okay,
out.
that would fill the stadium.
That I'm telling you.
Yeah,
And like
okay.
different formats too, sealed and
Yeah,
everything. You just
they could
go
be
to
like-
what you
they'd be-
like.
They'd be like,
dude.
watch the $1 million
Yeah.
tournament, play in our $100,000 side event.
They could play HotBid's RTS artifact.
My suggestion to Valve, no initiative. All right? You just play as fast as you can. Whoever gets that shit out first gets the effect. Okay?
Oh man.
No
$1 million
initiative.
idea right
I
there.
know.
$1
Telling you, the RTS card game, the first one ever.
The APM off the charts. Maybe, Dota people will start playing it again.
Any last thoughts on this PAX West experience? Overall, very positive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I didn't know how this was going to go at all for me because it's like my first time casting.
Your
and-
first time casting, you did
You
great.
did great.
You did great.
You did great,
You did
Karen.
great. People liked you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anyone
I
come
really
up and
enjoyed it.
say they liked your casting? You get a lot of
Yeah,
you get a lot
yeah.
of
Some
that?
people were saying that, and I was really happy to hear that. And I've just trained a couple times with Lumi, and I didn't think that was what it was going to be like later because we were just like.
We trained every day for about 4 months, so she was ready for this.
Jesus.
Karen never had any casting experience, so good job.
Yeah, so it was a
Well
lot of
done.
fun, and I think the turnout was amazing, and everybody loved the game. So, best possible outcome, I think.
And we found out the tier list among the commentators, right?
What's the tier list?
Well, obviously by win rate. Suns fan, right? Suns
Okay.
fan.
Oh, you mean
Then
playing
I
pit?
don't even know what the win rate is
what was the win
now
rate?
because
Did
I
you beat
think,
Suns fan in win
I
rate
feel
or
like
not?
no, Suns fan lost a lot of games yesterday.
Oh shit, I don't know then.
I think
I don't
it
know.
kind of felt like which deck you were given. I think a
Yeah.
lot of us did very
Fucking
poorly
black
on the
blue.
black blue. Yeah, I love playing that deck. But
That
I
deck is
like.
fun,
I ended
yeah.
up liking playing that.
yeah.
But
It grows on you.
yeah.
I
It was
did
hard-
80 on
hard
a
to
turn,
execute.
you know, with
Yeah.
that deck. That deck's fun.
Yeah,
But then you get conflagged.
getting flagged.
I know how to
Lose.
say conflagration now.
Okay,
So
good.
does Slacks. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Slack's
We have
throwing.
evolved.
Slack's
Come
throwing a
far.
lot of games on purpose. He's not actually that bad. He's just throwing, right? Of course.
He's
Yeah,
having fun with
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's perfect showman. I think.
Yes.
Even when he wins, sometimes he just like give opponent an extra turn. I know you've been doing that too.
Yeah, I'd leave it at 1 HP or like just leave some heroes alive or something. But
Where I say nah, I remember.
Merciless.
I'm just gonna kill them.
Looney and Suns fan want to win
Dude,
more than they
I'm
want.
the fucking white dragon. I don't mess around. I'm just gonna slay
eat
people.
them.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know, they can pick who they want to play against.
Yeah.
They don't pick you and Suns fan for you to take it easy on them.
Exactly.
So-
Somebody actually picked me,
That's true. Yeah.
Which I was surprised.
At the end, they're like, I want to beat Lumi.
and then I beat him, and that was it.
Well, you
Well, gave him a
missed
fight.
lethal on the one of them.
I did mislead them.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for talking about this stuff. Hopefully, this beta launch and everything goes great. We'll see you on the boards, I guess. I don't know what it's called, but thanks for tuning in. Follow BTS Artifacts. We'll be having a lot more coverage. Me and Lumi will be doing some podcasts later. We're gonna be reviewing my losses in the run.
That's gonna be fun.
I got to stage 2 days, and I went 3-1 or 2-1 on the other days.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to dissect all my mistakes. Thank you.
Awesome.
But we'll catch you later. Thank you.